Hey yo, what is good YouTube? It's your boy Hesy, and I'm back with another video, you feel me? Now check me out. In today's video, I'm gonna be showing y'all boys how to spec my DPS. Now look, I don't just mean your skill points. I mean when it comes to your artifacts. I mean when it comes to your white sockets. I mean when it comes to buffing up for a raid. You're not always gonna be hitting this hard, and you need to know why you're not. Alright, so look, basically I'm gonna help y'all boys out. Obviously you need skill points, but look, I'm gonna show y'all boys what artifacts you should be picking up, what buffs you should be running, and basically some simple stuff, you know what I'm saying, simple my DPS stuff. Now, if y'all boys want me to do this for other roles like precision, tank, troll, healer, I can get that to y'all boys. Make sure y'all boys hit the like button. If we get 100 likes, I got y'all with the next video for precision. Now listen, let's get into this video. Alright, so to start off, what y'all boys need to do is get y'all white sockets. Now I'm not gonna lie, for my DPS, for any support role, really, you always need your white sockets. Now listen, you gotta come to your base, you know what I'm saying, you need to pay rent with your little source marks. They just had double source marks. If you missed that, that's tough. But look, you can buy these marks out of the marketplace for like $10, you know, it's crazy that you could buy them, but hey look, otherwise, you wanna get your tactical mods, you need your supply drop too, you know what I'm saying. For my DPS, the supply drop buffs you, you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna basically tell you how to basically have the highest might possible at one point, you feel me? Like, you're not gonna have like 200k might the whole raid, but you're gonna have 200k might for maybe 30 seconds where you could hit something extremely hard. So look, you will need a supply drop ranked up, you're gonna need your tactical mods, of course come pay the lithium cells, and you get your tactical mods from right over here. Now you come over to this vendor and you'll have the weapon mod, helmet, chest, legs, feet, back, and the hands. All right, so basically what you want to do is the hand mods, you're gonna put your blast adapter, so that's basically any hit from your weapon every 20 seconds will give a blast from your weapon. So basically instead of you getting a one tap, you might get a 3 tap on a group of ads. All right, now depending on your power, your helmet mod will vary. So let's just say, because I'm mental, I use critical menace. Because if I was gadgets, I'll use critical display. If I was rage, I'll use supercharged Beserk, because it depends on your playstyle how you want your head mod to be. So this could play a big part, because for some powers like rage, if you use supercharged Beserk, it gives like 5% supercharge back every time you pop one. So that's good. Like for this mental right here, I use critical menace and it gives me a 2% critical strike chance every time I use menace. Now this head mod varies for what power you are. Now in the description, I will put the head mod differences for what power you might need, but I'm only going to be putting them for my DPSs. All right, so for the neck mod, you will be using escalating might. Now this is only escalating might. If you don't have escalating precision, take that out. You get my DPS, and this is a might video. All right, for your back mod, this will also depend on what power you are. Now I could put the back pieces in the description for the powers too. Just go in the description. Your chest mod, it will always be penetrating strikes. Make sure you have this, because you need that. You need to ignore that. They did a test over penetrating strikes over core strength for that 2% damage. Penetrating strikes is better, because I'm pretty sure the bosses at this tier now, they're just high health. I'm just saying stuff that I think. I'm not pretty sure, but I'm pretty sure they have a lot of defense, so that helps better than the extra damage you get. Now your leg mod, this is the most useless leg mod for DPS. Sometimes you might have a leg mod that might come into your power set, like for Earth, you got I think it's like what accelerate. No, it's like restorative. It's like a move that you'll use in your DPS loadout, so every time you use it, you'll get healed. But for most powers like mental right here, I don't use telekinesis, so I won't need to put something right here. But like this will all depend on you. You get out of 3 of them, and you can pick out of one of the 3. But for the leg mods, I will not be putting them in there, because this is probably the most useless one to me. Sometimes you might get a good power like gadgets that has restorative taser pull, so when you use amulet, you're taking damage, but you're healing yourself at the same time, you see? But that just also depends. You feel me? So that's what I'm about to go with. Now for your hand mods, it will depend too. Now listen closely. If you are mental or gadgets, you will be using improved stealth. So when you go on your stealth, you do not take damage, and you can hit really hard. Now any other power besides gadgets or mental, you won't want to put max damage in your hand mod. Nothing else. If you are only mental gadgets, improved stealth, any other power in the game, you need that max damage, because improved stealth is only for mental and gadgets. They're the only 2 powers that have it, and it's just so you don't take damage. Now for your leg mods, this is a vary for you know what I'm saying, what you want to use. All right, so it's the feet. I use the feet combo just so I can use it for my Whirling Dervish. I get like an extra 5k tick, maybe 10k, 30k sometimes, just coming out of that, you know what I'm saying. That's what that tap square does. Now your foot mod really depends on you. You could get this one just for more damage. That's what I'll have to say, because my DPS, most powers use Whirling Dervish, so you would need that. All right, so I would say use dashing combos. If not, You can use explosive block, deadly block, one of those two. I'll recommend you, if you're DPS, use dashing combos, because more times than likely you have Whirling Dervish in your loadout, because Whirling Dervish does stupid amount of damage. All right, so let's get into how you should buff as a DPS, and then we're gonna get into them artifacts. All right, so as a Might DPS, you only have 3 buffs. Now I ain't gonna lie, Might has some of the best buffs, right? Like, I wish Precision had one of these buffs, but they don't. All right, so you will always have the newest Soda Cola for Might. You have the Nitro Soda Cola. That's what it'll always be called. The only thing that will be at the end of it is the DLC. See how it says Nitro Soda Cola World of Flashpoint? Because that's the newest DLC. Like, in any other DLC, it would not say this, but it gives you 2,000 Might for 30 seconds unless you die. Now, this is a strong Might buff. You have to pop it every time you die, but look, it's strong. You have a Compound Omega. This gives you a 5% Might buff, 5% everything, for 30 minutes. But when you die, you don't have to repop one of these. That's why I like one of these right here. These are my favorite, and the one that right next to it is my favorite. So basically any other content, you know what I'm saying, going in the dailies, duos, raids, alerts, you just want to hit the hardest as you possibly can, pop a Omega, pop a Nitro, and you good. Now if you say you're going for a speed feed, you feel me, you playing with your lead, your boy talking shit, you want to smoke him, you have the cookies. Now these only come out for every seasonal event. I have made a video on it, and I would keep making a video on it every time they drop some, but they are a buff that buffs your Might by 5% by 30 minutes. So basically you only can pop 2 of these buffs at one time. You can never stack all 3 of these at once. So basically, if you're just running regular stuff on your daily grind, you're just gonna pop a Nitro and a Omega. But you know what I'm saying? For every once in a while, you want to hit some big numbers, some crazy numbers. I've hit close to 1 mil with this buff on. Now that's with Celestial. Celestial is strong. I'm going to do it again. But this right here, this thing gives you a 5% Might buff, and this gives you a 5% Might buff. So basically, you're buffed up your Might by 10% for 30 minutes, and you do not have to pop it every time you need. Like, every time you die, you do not have to repop it like the Nitro Soda Cola. So that's the great thing about this buff. You know what I'm saying? It buffs you way stronger than the Soda Cola. So basically, this buff is better than the Nitro. That's why I don't have that many, you know what I'm saying? Because it's so strong. I just be popping it so many times because I just like seeing the numbers. But these are your buffs. Now let's get into the artifacts. Now when it comes to your Might DPS artifacts, listen, you do not need your artifacts 200. Listen to me right now. You do not need your artifacts 200. Now, this is, you know what I'm saying, this is my personal rating of how I think the game is when it comes to the artifact rank system. So basically at 120, if you have your artifacts at rank 120, you're basically just chilling, you feel me? You not got the full potential of your artifacts, but you are chilling, and you're gonna be able to play the game and still have fun and complete content. You could do it with blue artifacts still, but with 120s, I'll just have to say that's when your artifacts work at the minimum. They just work bare minimum, and they are decent. Now when you get your artifacts 160, this is where you really just chilling at. Like, you really don't need to touch them. Like, it goes like, it's like trash, then it's mid, which is 160, and then it's overpowered, which is at 200, which I feel. So at 160, if you have your artifacts at 160, just chill, bro. You don't need to rush them bitches 200. If you wanted to, you could spend money on the game like some people have, but DPS role is one of the most expensive because it has the most artifacts you would need for your role. Like, you have single target, melee, and I ended up getting so many artifacts on my DPS role that I ended up switching artifacts while I'm fighting. So all right, so the artifacts you're gonna need, this is the most expensive role in the game. All right, I'm sorry to keep saying it, but it is. You have so many artifacts. You will need the Transformation card, the Strategist card, the Eye of Gemini, the Scrap of Soul Cloak, Grimorian Verum, and the Solar Amplifier. Now you can go on to these artifacts and you can see what they do. And if you wanted to see what your artifacts matched up for, what power you are, I usually drop loadouts for all of these videos, and mainly they stay the same. Now I'm not gonna lie, I will never upload my Solar Amplifier to 200. There's no point. At first, there's a point to get your Solar Amplifier to 200. That's what a lot of people did because it was glitched. It was just it was not splitting damage. I didn't care for that split damage, so I never upgraded it. Now they fucking nerfed it, and it's not even worth having 200 unless you wanted the extra 700 might that it comes with. Now, the Amulet, this artifact right here, you do not need, but this artifact is strong if you have 2 healers or a decent 1 healer in your loadout. All right, so basically, I have to say, don't even worry about this artifact. These other ones you will probably need. If you could sit all of them at 120, that would just, that's good. If you can hit them all at 160, that's even better, bro. Because at 160, you're chilling. At 120, you need them. Yeah, at 120, you're gonna be like, damn, I wish I had a 160. At 160, you're gonna be like, yeah, I want the bitches 200. But at 200, best believe that's when they're completely broken. Now, hope y'all boys enjoyed this video. As you see, I just got invited to a raid. I hope I explained it as much as I could for your DPS. You got your buffs, you got your white sockets, you have your artifacts, and basically you have your skill points too. But you should know how to spec your skill points. If you are my DPS, you should be specking super powered. Put everything in critical attack chance, everything in critical attack damage, and you need to have your might and power always maxed. If you have enough skill points, max it out. But that's really all you need for a might DPS. That's how I spec as a might DPS, and I hope y'all boys enjoy it. Hit the like button, and see y'all boys in the next video.